Hey guys, alright? Welcome everyone. At a medical camp in Africa, we see a doctor named Andre, who has just finished a procedure on a patient who unfortunately passed away due to lack of necessary equipment. When a native of the area and his assistant tell him to leave because the terrorist enemy known as Boko is approaching, fearing the worst, he immediately flees. Elsewhere, under the shade of a tree, is a woman named Wanda, guiding some children about faith. Andre arrives and says they need to leave because someone from the village mentioned Americans being in the village, thus attracting Boko's attention. Both get into the car and are being taken to a point where a plane can take them away. Inside the car, they hear news about the terrorist Boko, who is terrorizing a large area near Cameroon. Wanda asks if they will ever come back. Andre questions this, arguing that their medical equipment was stolen, necessary supplies for work didn't arrive, and adds that the Bibles were not sent either. Andre says the life they lived there is not what he thought it would be, and he doesn't intend to return. At the point where the plane is, there are some young people, one of them is Slick, and they will leave soon. Taking advantage of this private and clandestine flight, Andre informs the pilot Tyler that the flight sponsor said they would go along. However, the pilot raises their ticket price. To make matters worse, he says that the luggage is not included in the payment, so the small aircraft will be lighter. The aircraft's situation is precarious, and there are no seatbelts, and to worry the passengers even more, the plane sometimes sways and makes noises like loose fuselage. When Andre is about to alert that the noise is strange, the plane has a serious malfunction and starts to crash. Panic takes over, and for a moment, everyone loses consciousness. When Andre wakes up, he finds himself outside the plane destroyed by the impact. He searches for his wife while seeing that a young woman has died. Fortunately, he finds her alive trapped in the fuselage of the plane, and asks for help from a man named Tabo to get her out. When they pull her out, the pilot, who also survived, tells them to stop because her leg is trapped in the metal and pulling her out abruptly could further injure the limb. Young Max buries his deceased friend, while we see that they have already managed to help Wanda, and Andre is putting bandages on her leg. When Tabo asks about the safety of the plane, Tyler pushes him, and when Andre approaches, the pilot doesn't want to talk. The group crashed in an animal reserve, and now they have a great challenge: to find a way to seek help. Tyler tells the group that they flew only for half an hour, and they are in a not very good area. The nature around is beautiful, but it is a kingdom of many fierce animals, like lions. Tyler goes to talk to Andre, saying that the city of Kwana is to the east. However, it is a one-day walk, and they have little water. The bad news is that the group crashed in the Nala Reserve, known and feared for the dangers of deadly attacks by predators like leopards, hyenas, and lions. Max is fearful, but Tyler affirms that most of these animals hunt at night, so they need to hurry in their walk. Unfortunately, Andre will have to carry the weight of his wife, and this will delay the journey. Knowing the challenges Andre will face in carrying her, Wanda says she will stay, having faith that Andre will make it to the city and return with help. However, Andre decides to stay with his wife while asking the others to send help when they reach the city. Tyler warns that staying there is risking being devoured by lions, as it is the territory of the felines. However, Andre doesn't change his mind. Tabo even tries to insist that the couple follow them, but they remain there, confident that they will be fine until help arrives. The group, Tyler, Slick, Max, and Tabo, begin their journey, and at one point, they stop to rest. Max, observing around, says they are going the wrong way. However, Tyler insists he is right about where they are going, and says that Max is hallucinating. They still continue, while the couple is fine in the wreckage of the plane. Andre gets up and sees several scavenger birds flying over his location, and that's not good. He goes to observe a secret compartment of the aircraft and discovers something that intrigues him. Meanwhile, Slick falls in the dunes due to the extreme heat. Tyler says there is still half an hour for them to walk, so he offers water to Slick, and after they drink, everyone continues. Andre talks to his wife when she wakes up, and talks hopefully about when they get out of there, they will adopt a child. Tyler and the group walk another half hour, and at the end of the route, they come across a great horizon with no signs of civilization, and that discourages the rest of the group. Max takes Tyler's gun and accuses him of being a murderer. He says they need to go back and follow where he said they were supposed to go. Tyler isn't intimidated by the gun pointed at him and says that if they want to follow him, they should. Not sure where they're going, Slick and Tabo continue to follow Tyler, while Max goes off alone in another direction. In the plane, we see that Wanda's wound has caused her to lose blood, and the smell attracts something watching them from afar in the vegetation. Hearing something nearby, Andre arms himself with an iron bar. Meanwhile, Max continues to wander aimlessly in lion territory. Sometime later, we see that Tyler and the others have returned to the position where the crashed plane is and notice claw marks around where Andre and his wife were. Tyler approaches, and suddenly Andre emerges and knocks him to the ground, then proceeds to strangle him. Andre is furious because Tyler caused his wife's death. One of them fires a flare, and the explosion causes them to separate, relieving the pressure on Tyler. A moment later, we see Andre holding a symbolic funeral for his deceased wife and tells Tabo that it was a lion that attacked and unfortunately killed Wanda. Andre laments and says he could have fought harder, but Tabo comforts him, saying it wasn't his fault, and he could have died too. Tyler talks to Tabo that the lions will come back, and at night they won't stand a chance. Tyler proposes an idea to Tabo, saying they could hide in the pilot's cabin, where only 3 people can fit, and thus leave one of them for the lions, since there are 4 men in the group. This makes Tabo uncomfortable, but they go to talk to Andre about it, but when they get to the doctor, Andre takes the lead and questions how much Tyler is paid to smuggle illegal goods. Tyler remains silent, causing Andre to leave and return with a rhinoceros horn. Irritated by the discovery, Andre reveals that young people died because of Tyler, as he was supposed to transport medical supplies and equipment to the village. Andre adds that the plane crashed because Tyler was carrying a load that was too heavy, causing the engine to stop and consequently putting them in that situation. Tyler says he has nothing to do with the accusations and leaves their presence. Sometime later, the group draws lots to see who will stay out of the plane, and Slick is chosen. However, he retorts the choice, suggesting that Tabo stay out, as his father had paid him to be his guide in Africa. Tabo says he won't stay out, so Slick offers $1 million, but Tabo sticks to his decision, not being bought. Nightfall approaches, and before taking shelter in the cabin, Andre gives a cross necklace to the man, but he rejects it, saying he doesn't believe in anything. Night finally falls, and docile animals seek shelter, while predators go out to hunt. Tyler gives firewood to Slick and tells him to make a fire, then goes inside the plane cabin, along with Andre and Tabo. Meanwhile, in the darkness of the night, Max continues his journey alone, hearing hyena noises nearby, and what scares him is a brief roar of a lion. In the plane, Slick is dozing off when he hears a gunshot along with the others. Max starts shooting around, trying to hit the lion he hears nearby, but he ends up running out of ammunition. Later in the night, Tyler gets up to urinate and finds Slick sleeping. He wakes him up, and at that moment, doesn't notice a snake entering the plane. When he returns to the cabin, he starts to sleep again, without noticing the snake there by his feet. Slick falls asleep again and ends up letting the fire go out, and there, near the vegetation, 3 pairs of feline eyes appear. The 3 inside the cabin are also asleep, while a lion passes by outside. Suddenly screams begin to echo from Slick, and the group wakes up, but they can't do anything, just stay quiet. Andre tries to leave, but a lion almost enters the cabin, but they quickly lock the door. With panic and turmoil inside, the snake ends up biting Tabo on the leg before being killed by being stepped on. Andre then uses an improvised tourniquet and punctures his companion's leg to extract the venom before it spreads to the rest of his body. A moment later, everything becomes silent, showing that the group of lions has left. The next morning, the group leaves the plane and sees the trail of blood left by the lions. Andre sits at the foot of a dead tree, unmotivated and hopeless, and says that Tyler and Thoba can continue without him, but Tyler asserts that they need to work together to survive. However, Andre is determined to stay there and wait for his fate. Tyler then gathers some things so that together with Tabo they could start the journey, but before leaving, he tries once again to call Andre, but he wants nothing more. As the 2 walk a few meters, Tyler notices a vehicle approaching in the distance, and becomes excited, as this could mean the group's salvation. Andre stands up and watches as the car approaches him, and when the armed natives get out of the car, they assault him. Tabo tries to communicate in the natives' language, but they also hit him. When they check the plane, they find the horns and accuse the group of stealing them. The leader asks Andre who will be the recipient of the merchandise, but he doesn't know how to respond. Andre is threatened with a gun, and that's all he wants, to be killed to be with his beloved, but Tyler, being merciful, says that he is the smuggler. Tabo tries to speak up, begging them not to kill them, but unfortunately, he is the first to be killed. A moment after the leader goes to get reinforcements to take the cargo, Andre and Tyler are on their knees when one of the armed natives offers them a chance. first to Andre, telling him to run for 10 seconds, then he would shoot. Andre shows no reaction, so the man offers it to Tyler, and he remains quiet. Then the oppressor offers water but deceives them, drinking it himself and throwing the rest. Time passes, and the two guards fall asleep, and Andre collapses from weakness. Tyler, knowing that if he does nothing, they will be killed, attempts to approach the sleeping oppressor to take his gun, but he wakes up just in time and points the gun at him. Fortunately, when he shoots, the gun jams, giving Tyler a chance to fight. When the other one wakes up and points the gun at both of them, Andre stands up and fights him, and the shots fired kill Tyler's oppressor, leaving him free, and using his remaining strength, Andre forces the gun towards his enemy and also kills him. Tyler once again tries to cheer up Andre and apologizes for putting them in that situation. However, he needs to redeem himself and try to do the right thing, helping Andre get out of that situation. Moments later, we see that Andre accepted the help and is being carried by Tyler, but Andre's wound and fatigue overcome him once again, causing him to fall to the ground. Once again, Tyler encourages him to continue, and after helping Andre up, they continue. A moment later, they arrive at a small rocky valley and climb to cross it and go to a safe place. Tyler tries to pull Andre up, but he slips and falls to the ground. Fortunately, the fall wasn't too high, but Tyler notices a group of lions approaching them and, scared, quickly descends to lift Andre and continue climbing. After reaching the top of the rocks, they see smoke in the distance, a sign of life. However, the lions are not far away, and if they continue at the speed they were going, both would be engulfed and killed, and knowing this, Tyler doesn't tell Andre, making him confident that they will reach the village in a few hours. Andre asks to rest, and Tyler observes the lions sniffing them just below the valley. Fortunately, the felines don't find the possible prey and decide to return from where they came. Suddenly a breeze passes by them and consequently carries some of their scent, and this quickly reaches the lion's nostrils, causing it to turn its attention back to the place where they are. Suddenly a scorpion climbs on them, and knowing that things have now become complicated because if they move, they could be stung, so they need to stay still. When the scorpion climbs on Andre's face, Tyler knocks it to the ground, causing a small stone to roll on the rocks, which attracts the lion. Knowing that the lion won't leave the foot of the valley, Tyler takes off his shirt and smears himself with Andre's blood, picking up his scent, and then bids farewell to his companion, giving him hope that he will survive, while he distracts the felines. Andre asks him not to do it, but Tyler, wanting to do something good, decides to leave the hiding place in the rocks and attract the lion, thus sacrificing himself so that Andre can continue safely. Sometime later, we see Andre walking in the scorching sun, and unable to bear the fatigue, he falls to the ground. It doesn't take long before he hears hyena howls approaching, and fearing being eaten, he gets up. Having hope and to credit Tyler's sacrifice, he picks up a stick to fight for his life this time. He runs to confront the animals, but something divine happens. A lightning bolt strikes among the creatures there, scaring the animals. Rain begins to fall, relieving Andre's thirst, and after drinking, he lies down to rest in the rain. A moment later, when the rain had already stopped, Andre opens his eyes and has a vision of what appears to be his wife, but soon discovers that it is his old friend from the tribe, and another man. They carry him to the safe tribe, thus ending the doctor's suffering, the only survivor of the predators.